From the Ugly Parrot Studios in Newcastle, California, the Lim Cigar Cartel presents Beyond the Humidor, a cigar podcast for the rest of us. Hey, welcome everybody. Scott Robinson with you for another edition of Beyond the Humidor. As usual, I have Lawrence and Greg and the Gorilla working on the sound. How you doing there, Gorilla? Top billing once again.
Gorilla is doing fantastic.
You have all of your stimulating toys. You are properly motivated and stimulated back there?
Yes.
What in the hell?
Shut up. Just shut up. You didn't have to say it. The classic thing would have been not to say nothing. But since you want to be Talky McTalkerton, how you doing?
Leave it to Greg not to be classy.
Stimulating toys?
Get your mind out the goddamn gutter.
No, I understand the reference. I get it completely. I just didn't believe that he was that unintelligent.
Just because you are on a 14-hour drive with your own toys, don't turn this into something. Stop.
10 and a half hour. Thank you very much. I'm doing good, man. Like I said, long drive. We'll get to that later in the show. Talk about my further adventures in the state of Idaho. And, it's so far a decent week. I don't know about the rest of you, but, how about you, Mr. I don't have to get up in the morning and go to work.
Shots fired.
That wasn't a shot. That was a mortar.
Was that nice?
Incoming rounds.
Was that polite?
No.
Again, who are we talking about here? Guy has the social graces of a dead rodent.
I'll deal with you later. How you doing there, Larry?
Hey, fabulous, man. We're a off day recording here, because of Greg's trip. So we're doing this on a Tuesday afternoon, and it's already been a fabulous week. I mean, Jesus. But little scotch, little cigar, life is good.
All right. I'm going to shame myself right now. I have a plan for next week. I'm going down to Southern California to do some visiting. I don't want to put the miles on my car, so I'm halfway considering renting a car.
Aha.
You want to know what I'm thinking about renting?
No. Oh. I was thinking you were going to say something else. I'm like, no, don't put that out on the air. Anyway,
But
what are you thinking of renting, Scott?
Ferrari?
Lamborghini?
Tesla Model X.
Model 3, actually.
Seriously?
Seriously. I kind of want to see what the fuss is all about.
You going to pull the Dennis?
Which is, wait a minute, what is pull a Dennis?
Nope.
What you have to explain.
Let's discuss that offline.
What? No, man.
Okay, go ahead.
Pull a Dennis. You get about 10 minutes from the rental car place, and you call them up and you go, hey, I don't know who cleaned this car, but somebody been smoking in this son of a bitch as you're lighting your cigar. Our buddy, our friend of the podcast, I would like to thank, but, from our local cigar lounge, does it every time he rents a vehicle. Calls them up. I don't know what you son of a bitch. And I can't. Yeah, I mean, they have to know at this point, right? Because they got to keep records. This is all computerized, right? You're with Avis or Hertz or Alamo or Joe's Car Rental or whatever the hell it is, right? I mean, they got to go. This son of a bitch has got a shitty car that somebody smoked in every time for the last 16 years.
Well, we got two issues here.
Maybe it's just him.
One, why are you dry snitching? And two, I don't think they're going to buy that in a Tesla.
Hey, maybe not. No, I see. I look at it different. This is information that listeners could use to enhance their cigar experience.
Is that how we're justifying
The
it now?
Beyond the Humidor podcast does not endorse smoking in rental cars. And if you do, you are doing it at your own risk.
There,
Thanks,
I think
Legal Beaver.
Yeah. Ooh. Legal Beaver, and Helpful Beaver. Legal Beagle. All right.
Speaking of beavers, we have our resident beaver.
Bucky.
Hey there, Bucky. Say something, Bucky.
Fucking shoot me.
Where's Jeff Dunham when we need him?
See, this is when I was expecting Camera Gorilla to chime in. But
no, he's busy writing notes like a fettered psychologist.
In the words of Leslie Nielsen.
Nice beaver.
You did such an outstanding job with judgmental Christmas beer soap dispenser voice. I was hoping for you to like come in with a little improv for the beaver. I am disappointed, but not too disappointed.
Yeah, apparently the girl is getting over your disappointment.
All right, well, let's just jump into it right now. What are you smoking there, Greg?
So right this second, I'm finishing off one from the car, which was a nice Arroyo Maduro Lancero, which, dark, rich, didn't look it up because that wasn't my primary smoke. I will be shortly lighting, thanks to Larry, thank you, by the way, the Leaf by Oscar Corojo. It's a great stick. Leaf by Oscar comes out under Island Jim. Of course, it is blended and rolled by Oscar Valadares. It's a Honduran wrapper with a Corojo binder and a Honduran filler. And they've been out for about, 10 years now, Larry?
Yeah. About 10.
It's a line, I think, whether it's a Corojo, Maduro, Sumatra, or Connecticut, it's very smooth, very well blended. I rarely have an issue with any of them. And I think for most of the smokers out there, whether you're a beginner or an intermediate or an expert, it's a good line to consider.
Well, no matter where your palate's at this point in your smoking adventure, there's something in that line that's going to touch base with you.
Yeah.
If you're on the lighter side, then pick one of the lighter ones. If you like Maduros, they put out a good Maduro cigar. So, yeah, it's if you haven't tried one of them, regardless of where you're at, in your flavor palette, your range, give one of them a shot because I think you're going to be impressed with the quality of that cigar.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Right on. What are you smoking, Larry?
I have the Rocky Patel Prohibition Mexican. This is a Mexican San Andreas wrapper with a Nicaraguan binder and filler. It comes in a Toro. I've really liked these cigars for quite a while, and they're, I guess, gone away. They're not in production anymore. You can still find some here and there, internet, occasional brick and mortar. I've gone in, I've seen, there's still a jar on the shelf. They were kind of a unique packaging. They came in a glass jar that had it had an 18 or 20 in it. I don't remember.
I think it's
remember
20.
those box. Yeah, they came in a box.
Yeah, it came in a wooden like Prohibition crate.
Yeah, it's like a glass case, about 6 of them.
You mean like the one in my house?
Yeah, the cool.
You mean the one in my house?
We always talk. We talk a lot about pairings, and Scott and I have been on a drink kick lately. Something that we came across. It's called Bumbu Rum. It's a spiced rum, lightly spiced rum, and we've been pairing that with at a local establishment here by us. That it's a brewery, but they also do their own root beer. That is arguably one of the best draft root beers I've ever had.
Yep.
And that rum and root beer, this cigar is the best pairing that I've had.
I'm going to have to give that a shot.
It's the flavors just work really, really, really well together. So if you get a chance to pick up one of these prohibitions, they're not, like I said, they're not, produced anymore, but there are quite a few of them still around. Give it a try. Again, it's a Patel product, so it's a quality made cigar.
Right on. I'm smoking a Gran Habano Vintage Connecticut 2004 out of Honduras, and it is a Connecticut all around. Nice smoke. It's very simple, being that it's a Connecticut. Some people would argue that the Connecticut doesn't have a lot of flavor, but I disagree. It's a nice mellow smoke. As far as the taste comes, and you know how I feel about trying to figure out a taste for this, I just think it's a nice, smooth and clean smoke, something that you can just relax with and enjoy. You can pair it with almost anything, and you'll have a good time with it. It goes well by itself. Bamboo and root beer, of course. And, I think the bamboo and root beer would actually add to the cigar, or even a spiced rum.
You don't think it would overpower it a little bit?
Not at all.
Yeah, the nice thing about the Connecticut's is unless you get super crazy with what you're pairing it with, you're still going to get a really unique flavor both directions, with the whatever alcohol or drink, it doesn't have to necessarily be alcoholic, but
Right.
that's just what we prefer. The Connecticut and a dark beer.
Yeah.
I've had some good luck with some of the dark beers that we've tried. Also, Connecticut with like a Mexican lager. Those two flavor combos work really well. And if you've got something really, really strong on a coffee, Connecticut is, because you're still getting, if you're going super strong on your coffee, then you don't want to push that against something super strong on your cigar typically. So yeah, Connecticut just works all the way around, man.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Now, I know some people probably wouldn't like it because they think that if you pair it, then it's going to take on the character of what you're pairing it with. But who cares if it's something good?
Yep. 100%.
Gorilla, what's going on over there? What you smoking?
Nothing.
Why?
Gorilla is an assistant scoutmaster with the local scout troop. Tuesdays are no cigar day.
Oh,
Because I do not want to go to the meeting smelling of cigar.
Okay.
Way to not corrupt our youth.
Eh.
Okay, I got to ask a question, Gorilla.
Yes.
Is that why you shaved the beard?
No.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Speaking of which, are you still?
No, I'm too friggin' lazy.
Aw.
Well, your hair's coming in there.
Lazy.
So this is kind of an accident. You're going to eventually.
I can't manage to have the unique chocolate dome that you have, so I have to do my best.
Wow.
But you were all hyped up about this. You were ready to go. You're going to grow your hair out, become a mountain man,
Nah.
improve your hunting.
Nah. You can't improve on failure. Not in my case, anyway.
I didn't say it.
Zero times anything is still zero.
Correct.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Camera Gorilla. 2 shows on Saturdays.
All right. So this is the second time in as many weeks as you've been to Idaho. So
Third, actually. In 2 months, basically, I've been there 3 times.
Jesus Christ, man. Why don't you just get a place out there?
Thinking about it.
Idaho was wanting to build a wall.
Hey, they all like me over there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you heard the good news, brother?
Have you heard the good word, brother? I spend the gospel of Beyond the Humidor. Oh, I'm taking over for the Scotty Robin experience.
Who's Scotty Robin?
That's my short version.
Way to fuck it up.
Hey, the Scotty Robinson experience, whatever it's called. But, yeah, so, I mean, here's the reality of the situation, guys, and this is kind of sad in one respect, okay?
All right.
I miss events.
Yeah.
And none of the shops around here, with the exception of the occasional event at Stogie's in Lodi, none of the shops around here are doing events anymore. So, Josh Everett that owns the Vault, he's doing an event damn near a month. So I travel, unfortunately, the scary part is, okay, I've flown the last 2. The one I just got back from this week, I drove. It was way cheaper to drive. And that's unusual. Normally it's the other way around. But this event was supposed to be the grand opening of the Vault Eagle, which is in Eagle, Idaho. Unfortunately, due to a fire sprinkler being out of place, the fire marshal did not issue them the occupancy permit they needed to open. So the grand opening is postponed for a week or 2. I don't know of a firm date yet on that, but they still had a good time. We had the regular event at the Vault Meridian on Saturday. El Septimo was there. So you had Chip Golding, who is the vice president of sales for El Septimo. He came up from Santa Cruz, is actually where he lives. And then you had Matt Sass, who is a Seattle resident. He is the broker that handles El Septimo, My Father, Crux, Christoph and Illusion for the northwestern region, if you will. Matt has kindly agreed, good luck, Matt, to join us on the podcast in late May after the interview with Josh from the Vault, of course. So it was a nice time. El Septimo is a older brand. There is a video. It should have been shared across. Tommy did an interview with El Septimo while they were up there with Chip, and they're a long-standing brand. They're really into the premium cigar market. They've got a vastly large line. It was a fun event.
Cool. It sounded looked like a good time. Looked like there were quite a few people there too.
It was a full house during the event. It was what's amazing to me is it was a big full house on Friday, a nice full house on Saturday, including the outdoor patio, enjoying it. And Josh puts on a good showing. He's got an outdoor patio with a big fire pit because obviously it's cold in the wintertime, but nice inside full bar. Unfortunately, Sarah does not work for them anymore, but they still got some great bartenders and make some good drinks. And another thing that I found very interesting was Friday night, we went to the Vault, and then we met a friend of Tommy's at V-Cut, which is a small bourbon lounge and bourbon and cigar lounge in Nampa. They have a nice little humidor, about the size of the Davidoff humidor at Tobacco Republic, maybe a little bit bigger, and a good selection of cigars. They also have Byrons on the shelf right now.
What?
I 2 full boxes of different Byrons on the shelf. It's a steep price. It's not as steep as Cali, but they're $49 a stick.
That's not bad.
It's not.
Surprise. Shit, I wish I would have known. I would have had you pick me up a box.
Don't worry. The next time I go up there, I'll get a box. Okay, if that's what you want, I'll make some arrangements. But yeah. It was the Byron Maduro, so it was different from what we've smoked before. Don't know much about it, but I'll grab a few when I go up there next time, and we'll try them, and then they can always get us a box if we need to. But What really stood out with the V-Cut, it's a really nice, it's an old auto repair shop that they turned into a lounge.
Oh,
so
cool.
You've got the garage side of it, and you've got what would have been the office side of it, and it's all, the wall's been blown out, but the main garage door is still there. Really cool environment. What was amazing to me, when you go into a cigar lounge in California, it's predominantly men. Rarely do you see women in large quantities. Complete and utter opposite in Idaho. It was a 50-50 mix between guys and girls. All the ladies were smoking, having a great time, enjoying the cigars, enjoying some great drinks. Jennifer, who was the wife of the owner, Tim, we all had a great time. And it's I think a testament to the cigar culture they're building over there in Idaho. It's more mixed than it is out here, and I think that's really good to see.
Now, it was a lot of single women or attached?
Yes. Both.
Okay. I'm saying more. It was more or...
No, it was that night, I would say it was probably, again, about a 50-50. There were some tables that were, 4 ladies having a good time together. There was a couple of couples. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good mix, and it was really good to see because it's an area that I think the cigar community has shied away from and has only in the last couple of years discovered that, holy crap, there's a female consumer out there.
Well, I think we're pigeonholed a little bit in this area because a few of the established shops here in the Sacramento area have been predominantly a men's club for quite a few years. I haven't seen that as much other places. Oregon, Washington, even Southern California, lounges I've been into down there seem to have a larger lounge presence, customer presence of women than what we see typically up here in our area.
Yeah, there's a mix in Florida. When I was over at Island Girl, shout out to Island Girl out in Fleming Island, there was, a couple of women there, and in fact, tobacconist Sandy, she, and Liz, both of them were, serving drinks and had a knowledge of tobacco. Looking forward to having them on the show.
I think a lot has to do with the fact that how the business is run. You think about shops where you've seen more women patrons. Typically, it's a husband and wife operation, and both of them are present and active in the business.
Yeah.
There's got to be a comfort level, because again, for generations, cigars have been predominantly, male. So to break into that, there has to be a comfort level, I would think, for women to want to come into to the men's room, so to speak. But it's nice to see. There's definitely a market out there for it. If you're a cigar manufacturer, there's women smoking cigars. So
no doubt.
Don't think there's not, for sure.
Are you not so fresh?
No, sneeze, and I didn't want to sneeze directly into the microphone.
Oh, well, thank you.
The other thing too that was fun, and I posted a picture of this one. So I don't think Scott's traveled this road, Larry, but you've traveled the 95, heading north out of Winnemucca.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yes, it is. So there's a rest stop about 40 to 60 miles or so out of Winnemucca on the right-hand side of the road. And that's typically where I stop. And after 4.5 hours of driving, I need a break to walk around, a few other things that need to be dealt with. But I lit up a 70 by 7 Asylum 13 Corojo.
Oh, nice.
That's a great cigar that I really love to smoke in a Corona or Toro. That's my typical size. And I normally shy away from that, 70 ring gauge, because I'm not a fan of the larger ring gauge smokes. That being said, I put a post up about it. You really shouldn't be afraid of that larger ring gauge, because it was a completely different experience to smoke that same cigar that I know so well in the 50 and the 47 ring gauge, and then smoke it up into a 70, because there was a lot more sweet notes that came out, a little bit creamier and a little bit more mellow than the pepper bite I'm used to. So it was just a really neat experience. On top of that, lit the cigar with 4 hours to go, dropped the end of it into the ashtray at Tommy's house 4 hours later in Parma. Yeah. Lasted me that whole lonely ass stretch of road.
Well, and that's the thing about those giant ring gauge cigars. Don't light one of those unless you got
time
3+ hours, because you're not going to be happy with the result if you got an hour and a half to smoke and you're a third of the way into this thing and you got to put it down.
Yeah.
You're going to be upset with yourself for what you've wasted, the money you spent, whatever. I am a fan of larger ring gauge cigars, 50, 60 ring gauge, no problem. But the Asylum 13s and their 70s are probably, without a doubt, one of the better extra large ring gauge cigars I've come across. I've been really happy with the few that I've smoked. The problem with those, when you get above 60 ring gauge, you got some manufacturers that are just making a novelty.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, come on, man. But that's not the case with Asylum 13.
No.
They've done a great job with those giant ring gauge cigars, and they have every bit as much flavor as their smaller stuff, if not more in some cases. So, yeah, try it out.
I really think they should,
Nice. I haven't delved into that just because I just don't have the time.
I know I gave you one.
I know, and it's still sitting snugly in the humidor.
Well, Larry's gone through his, and I've gone through mine. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, when I get the time, I will do just that.
That's the whole thing, and it's funny because I was looking at another Asylum while I was at VCUT, and it is a 70 by 9. It's freaking gigantic Maduro. So next time I go up there, I'll bring one back for you.
Wow.
There's a shop in Oceanside that we stop at when we're down there, Cigar Grotto, right on Pacific Coast Highway in Oceanside proper. It used to be called Hill Street. That's what I remember as a kid. They have a house stick, and I don't know who makes it, that they have in 60 ring gauge barber pole, but they also get them occasionally in a 70 by 3.5. So it's basically a short story,
A super nub?
Yeah, super nub. Yeah. And I'm like, that's perfect, man. Talk about your cartoon looking cigar smoker there. You're lighting this thing, that's the size of a beer can in width, but only 3 inches long. So,
Oh man,
they were out of them the last time I was down there, but I did pick up some of the standard 60s. So good times. Yeah, whenever you get a chance, if you see something that's kind of novelty, kind of off the norm, I mean, give it a try. We've tried some of those cool 3-wrap where they look like they're braided.
Oh yeah.
And some of
I've done that.
those have been good cigars, some of them not so good, but at least you could say you tried it.
Right.
I've had a couple of really good cigars that were rolled in the shape of a pipe, with the L at the end, whatever you want to call it. And it's, as long as they're using quality tobacco, it's a good stick. Now it takes a hell of a roller to put that together so that it stays together. But yeah, we've had a couple of good ones of those too, and it's just neat stuff.
Yeah, that's always the fun one, is the novelties. But hey, get out and try things.
When's your next trip up to Idaho? Do you have anything else planned?
Not right away. The next event is my father, and that is looking like it's Memorial Weekend, and I very much doubt the boss is going to give me the time to get up there for that one. So probably not till June, whatever the next event is. But one of the other things that I'm going to get up there for, too, is the next Cigar 101 class that Josh does. He has kindly agreed, provided that we give him the credit for it, which I have no problem doing, letting me film that course and make it into a video so it is available for our website for our Cigars 101, so I don't have to cobble one together. He's already got a program set up. So
nice.
we're going to be doing that with him
Okay.
at some point. I just don't know when yet. And, we got to figure out where we can get you two up there, because that is, his lounge. I say this not because I enjoy it, but because I believe it's the truth. It is the best one in Idaho. Remarkably, it's one of the better ones across the country.
Wow, that's awesome.
Between his ambiance, the drinks, the selection in his humidor, everything is boutique. The only mainstream names that I know of that I think I remember seeing is Padron and Fuente.
It's funny, when we were up there a few years ago, just kind of trolling around, hanging out for 4th of July weekend. I think it was the Saturday we were up there. We're kind of wandering around Old Town Nampa, and we went to a couple of breweries, couple of different restaurants, and I was wearing a Christoph shirt, and I bet I had half a dozen people that day. Hey, cigars, give you the nod or point at the shirt and thumbs up and stuff. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of cigar smokers up here.
There is.
So no, that's cool.
I'm looking forward to making my way to Idaho. If you go in June, so long as it's not like the first week, I think I'm good.
We can figure that out.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Road trip.
There you
Why not? So I want to talk a little bit, too, about Half Wheel put out an article.
go. Okay.
How many cigars do you think, and I'm looking at my screen now, were imported into the U.S. in 2022?
210 million.
Mr. Robinson?
A fuck ton.
That's a very good numerical value. Mr. Grillo, would you like to chime in on this one?
I don't know. I think my dad's number is pretty spot on.
See, any number I give, I know is going to be wrong, so a fuck ton works.
Okay, so you said
210 million.
210 million. That does not equal the $250 million with a B of Nicaragua that were imported into the U.S. last year.
Wow.
The total number of cigars imported into the United States last year, 464 million. So let's round that up to make it simple. 500 million cigars, just in ours. You're talking 250 million in Nicaraguan, 129 million Dominican. Honduras comes in at 84 million. Costa Rica, 1,000 million.
1,000 million.
1,000 million. Now I sound like that guy from South Africa. Anyway,
100
a lot. 659 mil from the Philippines, which is odd. I don't know what cigars get produced in the Philippines, but 64 million from Mexico, 24 million from the Bahamas, and that's just, a percentage of it. It's staggering that's how many were imported into the U.S. last year. I mean, the cigar market it's growing, obviously, because the previous data from 2021 was 453 million. So it's a lot.
214 cigars from Haiti.
Uh-huh.
They were brought in the back of a radio.
Hey, I smoked that cigar we got from PCA from the Haitian fellows. That was a great stick.
Yeah, this is a super good stick,
Mm-hmm.
man.
Yeah, definitely got to get in touch with those fellas. I'd love to have them on the show.
Bokikio, if I remember right, or something of that nature.
Yeah.
I think
Haitian rum, Haitian cigars. By that time of the day and at PCA, I think we were +1 on alcohol, so it was a little rough.
I mean, you're talking the average import a month last year, 38 mil.
That's great, man. That's great for the industry, great for our hobby.
That's right. It's good news for us. That's for sure.
Cuba was surprisingly absent.
I'll be damned.
Well,
It's because anybody that knew anything about cigars left Cuba years ago.
True. Very true.
I mean, it's coming around, but I think the damage is irreparable over there.
Well, have you tried any of the ones that our good friend Justin brought us back from the UK?
Not yet.
Yeah, I haven't smoked mine either.
No, I was debating on whether I was going to throw a picture of those up. I have something else that I meant to send you guys a picture of, and I just never got around to taking it. My buddy that owns the as I'm drawing a blank, the guy I get the ashtrays and all that stuff from, he came in with an old-time cardboard cigar box that has a cedar lid, and it's probably from, I don't know, the early 50s. But he also had a wooden cigar tube with probably a 40-year-old Cohiba.
Wow.
The wrapper's starting to flake a little bit, but it is still spongy to the touch, so it is.
Sounds like it's smokable.
It's in the lower part of my humidor. I'm going to let it go a minimum of 3 months, and then I'm going to fire that sucker up.
there you go.
Yeah.
But, it was something that he came across at one of the estate sales that he was dealing with, and so he brought that in for me.
Nice.
Outstanding.
So
Yeah, I think I have I can count on my fingers how many Cubans I have in my humidor now.
yeah,
Sad thing.
yeah, I'm down, including the ones that I just got. I think I'm down to about 15.
I'm about there too, about 15.
So
I'm less than that.
Yeah, but we did a good number on all the ones you brought back for Operation Cuban Liberation.
Yes.
Still my favorite is that Sublime.
Oh, I so want more of those.
Yeah, but they're probably going to be they were what, 1,100 a box?
Yeah.
They're probably around 2,200 a box now.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm not messing with it anymore. It was fun while it lasted.
Yep.
yeah, there's definitely a ceiling to that kind of stuff as far as pricing goes, but every once in a while, not a bad deal.
Yeah. Well, if I do another sandals resort in the Caribbean in a couple of years, you never know.
Yeah. And as most of our listeners will know, the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival tickets went on sale.
Talk about that outrageousness. Larry and I opted not to go this year, and you were planning to go, or you are.
I am
planning to
going.
go? Yeah.
Fortunately for me, we have this podcast. So I will be getting my media pass for it. But the VIP, the 550 VIP tickets, that includes executive VIP, sold out in about 4 minutes. And the remainder of the VIP social, general admission, and general admission social sold out, all told, in 9.5 hours.
How many tickets did they have on sale total this year? Because it used to be about 2,200.
It's about little over 3,000 now. And the question was posed by someone on Facebook if they were ever going to expand the event, and the answer was no. Why mess with a good thing? I get it. It is frustrating because the VIP level is one of the better ways to get in there, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I will be doing a little bit of coverage. I'm not going to do a lot of coverage while I'm there, but, be doing little things, doing a couple live wrap-ups after the parties each night just to talk about what's going on. But,
Okay.
I think it's a subject for a different show, but it's a little disappointing when you almost need a lottery system at this point, because you can't, like, I don't remember if you two remember the 3 Canadian guys that came in that we met. 2 got VIP, 1 got general admission.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a mess.
A lottery system's not going to fix that.
No, but it'll
You're
make
just
it a little
gonna
bit better.
What's going to happen with a lottery system is you're going to have the same number of frustrated people who aren't going to get in. I mean, it's a number at this point for them. They have one of the happiest problems you can have throwing an event and selling tickets. They all get sold out. Whether they get sold out in 4 minutes or 4 hours, they could give a crap.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly.
So I have been looking at some other events that have passed that we wouldn't be going to this year, but next year they've got a Texas Cigar Festival.
Yeehaw.
Give you a chance to wear your Scotty Robin Experience outfit.
Where's that at? Austin?
I believe it's San Antonio.
Okay.
But it looked interesting. It's a one-day event like Rocky Mountain. The pictures from John Fozzie from Christoph and a few others in the vendor world, it looked like it was a lot of fun. It looked like it was a lot like Rocky Mountain. It might be something for us to check out. There's always Cigar Fest in Pennsylvania. There's a number of different festivals to look at too. I mean, if a cigar smoker really wants to go experience one, you're going to find one you can go to any given time of the year. They've got a new one starting up with Two Guys Cigars in New England. They're throwing a big cigar festival in the fall.
Huh.
And that's a great time to visit New England.
Good times.
Yeah.
So, if you're into the festival like we are, consider other options.
Well, yeah, there's plenty to look at.
Yeah.
I think Minnesota has one.
We know, guys.
Yep, we know folks out there. Florida, well, you throw a rock and you'll hit a festival. The only problem is it's going to be the same as New England. For us on the West Coast is flying out to the other side of the,
Yeah, the airfare, and if you're going to spend that much money on airfare, you got to go for enough days that you feel like, you made it worth your while.
Right.
I had planned, at the end of last year to try to do Smokelahoma this year, which is at the end of next month.
I thought it was the end of this
No,
month.
I'm sorry. It's actually this coming weekend.
Oh, that's right. It is April.
And just with my scheduling at work and looking at what the cost was going to be to travel and everything, it just didn't pencil out this year. More of a scheduling issue than a cost issue, but tickets, there's no direct flight from Sacramento to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, so you're either going to Denver or Dallas or something like that.
Atlanta and coming back, that was one of the options. I'm like, what?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But, and that's one of those things where I'm not just going to go out there for, 2.5 days, have a half a day flying, spend a day, spend the night, get up, fly the next day. If I'm going to go out, I want to spend 4 or 5 days. And then that's, that increases the budget a little bit, makes it, a little more difficult with the time away from work because, you got to catch up on the stuff when you get back. So, we'll look at it for next year and see.
Well, and I think the nice thing for, the difference for Scott and I is you have family out there. So, there's time for you to see.
There's always that. Greg, you got that new one lit up? How's that cigar doing for you?
As I said in the intro of it, Oscar is one of there's only two brands I can really think of, Oscar being one of them, that when I smoke their cigars, I don't have any problems, whether it be construction, whether it be draw, nothing. They're practically perfect.
Yep.
And of course, our friends at Cavalier being the other for the most part. The Oscar is something that I'm comfortable putting a new guy into, recommending to a seasoned smoker. In fact, I put a new guy in on Friday night. They were asking me, we're standing in the Humidor at V-Cut, and I'm explaining to Charles about the Oscar Wild Hunter Natural. He bought a couple, and then I got these three other guys that are in there like, wow, you seem to know a lot about cigars. What would be a good cigar for us to smoke? What do you like to drink? Beer. Okay. Budweiser. We don't drink that. That's what I thought. What do you drink then? Well, IPAs. Okay. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, okay, so they drink elephant piss. Okay. So, and I ended up putting them into a Sober Mesa Brulee because it is rich, creamy, and slightly sweet at the same time. And because you're drinking a beer with a fairly medium to middle flavor of, it's a good option. So it's just interesting. It's like you just run into these things,
On a side note, Gorilla, make a note that we should not probably reach out to any local breweries for sponsorship in the near future based on his elephant piss comment.
You got to understand, I don't like beer to begin with.
It doesn't like you either.
I know.
Now, if there was a company making like canned, Shirley Temples or Jane Withers or whatever, then dude.
Did he just say Jane Withers?
I don't know.
Shirley Temple and a Roy Rogers, maybe?
I don't know. It's a Jane Withers from here on out.
What is in a Jane Withers?
That was my question. What would be in a Jane Withers?
Hey, let's
two splashes of maraschino cherry juice and Diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, God.
There you go, Greg. That's what you're drinking from now on.
The Jane Withers.
With a Jane Withers chaser. My God.
Don't fucking laugh. I'll bring the contents in for the next episode. Mix that fucker up and give it right to you.
Do you realize what a complete shit show we are going to have when we have a specific dedicated space to do podcasts where we don't have to set up and tear down? The ridiculousness of our set is going to be off the hook. I got a fire hydrant we can bring in there in case somebody's got a dog, Look at it.
Look at Gorilla's writing more psychological notes.
I'm thinking my 6-foot cigar store Indian's going to have to come in.
That actually would be good. Yeah.
That may be where, although I'm probably going to do that in my office, I'm thinking that may be where the 7-Up machine humidor has to go, but I don't necessarily know that I want, that. The possibilities are endless.
The kitsch set we're going to have to build.
Desk, then soundproofing, then random shit. That needs to... Priorities need to be established.
Soundproofing? Look at the gorilla.
He says, as there's very clearly fucking car going down the road behind you. Yeah, soundproofing.
The gorilla does have a point.
Yeah, it's under his hat.
How about you two on those cigars? I mean,
Hey, I'm still enjoying mine. Like I said, I love these vintage 2004s. Picked them up on Cigar Bid, as a matter of fact.
Yun, dun, dun. No, I think I'm down to 16 of the prohibitions left.
Is that the one that your wife found for you, or either your wife or Gorilla over there found for your birthday a couple years ago?
Yeah, I think that was a joint venture between Sherry and the Gorilla. But yes, that is the birthday glass, as it were, and I'm trying to kind of dull those out a little bit because I could easily blow through the last 15 or 16 of these in 4 or 5 days, and just sit there and power smoke through them because I love these things a lot. But I try to do about one a month is what I've been doing. Because I got the jar of 20 from them, but I also had about 25 that I'd gotten from our local brick and mortar when they were still carrying them too. So I had a fairly good collection of those for a moment.
Do you still have one of the crates, Larry? I know you got a couple of them.
I have 3 crates actually. They're 2 of them are the end table next to my leather cigar chair.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Okay, I was going to say we need to set those up in the studio after we get through with soundproofing, Gorilla.
And a desk. I think we should do a bar.
I like it.
Look at the Gorilla, man.
Greg, a bar is a
Shut up,
place where
Scott.
people drink. And not was it Jane Wyman?
Withers.
Oh, Jane
Withers. Wyman? No.
God. Same difference, potato.
Okay.
I think we should come up. You know what? I have a task for the 3 of us.
Oh, Christ.
We need to come up with a non-alcoholic drink for Greg. And we're going to have him sample those drinks.
I thought we just did.
No.
So before we close this show out, Gorilla, congratulations on a year of your own podcast.
Congrats.
Why, thank you.
Boy, that was a hell of a segue, wasn't it?
My idea is still going to fly. The 3 of us are going to come up with drinks and bring the fix-ins, and we're going to fix them, and you're going to drink each and every one of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a shot, Greg. It's 50-50 pickle juice and
No. Again, let me
You just
emphasize.
uncovered some deep trauma from
Fuck
Scott's
Yeah,
girls.
apparently. Scott, tell us where pickle juice hurt you.
No, I go to these shows, see comics, and I went to one club, and they had this pickle juice shot that they were drinking, and they convinced the comic to drink it. They were buying her drinks, and if you know who Linnell is, she's an older black lady, funny as hell, drinks throughout the entire show. By the time it ends,
That's your spirit animal?
she is fucked up. So then people started buying her those pickle juice shots. I was cringing every time she was tossing them back. Oof. I just shudder just thinking about it.
Larry, what's going on with that ashtray you got over there? That's really cool.
This is a Grey Goose bottle that has been shrunk. They put them in a kiln and melt them down. I got that, quite a few years ago up in Reno at Rib Fest.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get one that was a rum Sailor Jerry. And the guy looked at me like I was an idiot. He's got hundreds of different ones of these things, right? Everything from ashtrays to shrunk flat you can hang on a wall, all these different things, right? And I'm looking through, there must be 150 different bottles, wine bottles, alcohol bottles, all kinds of cool shit, right? And I'm like, why does it have a Sailor Jerry?
Because the label's paper.
Bingo. And so I'm like, but I didn't even think about that, right? I'm like, hey man, how come? And I was figuring that, I was going to be a smart ass and, oh yeah, those sell out quick. He's like, we can't make those. I'm like, what? He goes, paper label. I'm like, I got you. But then I realized that you didn't see a standard Jack Daniels either, because that's also paper label. But their higher end stuff they had because they're not paper label. So yeah, it's a neat deal. I've used that here for a long time because of its shape. It fits right next to something on top of one of my filing cabinets, and it can kind of tuck under out of the way. So, if I need to stash a cigar, in an ashtray, I can do that. But I have a ridiculous amount of cigar accoutrements, to the point where I may need an intervention. Now with my buddy Matt, and Matt, don't stop by doing this by any means. This is not a cry for help, but with him showing up with all these vintage ashtray stuff, and I just told him, I'm like, dude, I'll take any of those you got, and if I end up passing those along to other cigar smokers, or we can use some of them as a raffle, or I don't want to pass them by just because, but it is ridiculous how many ashtrays, lighters, cutters, just.
Okay, so I'm not going to complain. I've got a lot of stuff too, but I don't think I nearly have the number that you have.
You and I combined don't have the number.
It got out of control, man. It just, because, and we've talked about this on the last few episodes. The swag has been stepped up so much.
Yeah.
You and I last year, Scott, at Rocky Mountain, both bought that ashtray that we had no business buying another ashtray.
But it was so cool.
Well, we're standing there looking at each other. That's pretty cool ashtray. Yeah, I think I'm going to get one. Yeah, I think I'm going to too. And the guy, the guy's like, ching, here you go.
Yeah.
But
it's still sitting on my desk. I've got 2 ashtrays outside on the balcony, and it's just like I'm looking at this thing on my desk, and I'm like, I have to integrate this into my.
That one is so cool though.
That one's not for using.
That one, I use the hell out of it. That one's so cool though that you could put a little picture hanger on the back, and hang that on the wall. That
just gave me an idea.
That is
I think that's what I'm going to do.
That is a badass one. Now, Gorilla, are you using the porcelain ashtray that I got you a couple years ago?
Which one is that?
Was that a
Tommy Bahama?
Tommy Bahama.
That is currently acting as a catch-all on the top of my dresser because I only smoke one of 2 places. In my truck, here where you have 75 ashtrays, or in my office where I just need 1. So I do not yet have the need or space to start my clearly not a cry for help, clearly not in need of an intervention cigar accoutrement collection. Which are all things someone says when they clearly don't need help or an intervention.
Yeah, there you go.
Followed by, I don't know how I let it get this far.
Well, I know how. I just don't seem to care. The other thing that I had forgotten that I accumulated a large quantity of, because my buddy Matt also brought me 2 or 3 in the last couple of months, are vintage cocktail shakers. I came from a bar background in my younger days, and my dad got me started collecting vintage cocktail shakers from the 30s and 40s. And guys, if you're listening out there and you're not sure what I'm talking about, I know you've seen them. They're a glass cocktail shaker, typically have a metal lid that fits on the top. The really cool old ones from the 30s are usually hand painted. Some of them have drink recipes on them, and then some of them have scenes where it's like hunters on horseback. There's a cool one with like fox and hounds just running around. It goes in a circle from the base up to the top of this thing.
Sweet.
And I probably realistically have between 60 and 70 of these things. And right now they're just all boxed up because the way our house is laid out, I don't really have any place to display those. But yeah, it's just crazy amounts of stuff like that because you get started and it's like, you got 10 of them, and then you see something at a thrift shop, antique store, something like that, and it's like, oh man, that's badass. How do you not get that? It's like, oh, it's only $10. Okay, so yeah, I need help.
My favorite one that you
heard it, folks,
is the glass one with the red print that has the different ratios for different. It's not specific recipes, but it'll be like, old fashioned is this to this to this.
Yeah. I have a couple of metal ones that it's a double insert metal shaker, and there's windows cut out in the outside layer, and as you turn the shaker, different drink recipes appear in those windows. So the top window is not very tall, but it's wide. So that gives you the name of the drink, and then as the windows break down below it, it's the percentages of what you need to put in there.
Okay.
I've only seen 2 or 3 of those, and yeah, I found one of them. I found the one I have at a yard sale for $2, and I'm like, I'll take that. And if you don't know, you don't know what it is, you just walk by it. But the same with ashtrays. I've picked up lead crystal ashtrays that are probably $60 or $70 if you go to an antique store, over $100 some places, depending on what it is.
Yeah.
My youngest son at a local thrift store got me probably an 8-inch lead crystal ashtray that was marked as a candy dish, is what it said on the tag, for $5. And this thing weighs 8 pounds. I mean, it is ridiculous. Beautiful cut lead crystal ashtray. So,
So Gorilla just thought of a random question. Lead crystal ashtrays, the other type of glass item that's really rare to find, if you find the actual real one of it, is radium glass. Did they ever make radium glass ashtrays? The ones that'll glow under blacklight? Because if you found one of those, that'd be fucking wild. Because I don't know if anyone made anything. They're making everything out of radium glass. Why not an ashtray? But
I don't know the answer to that.
Or something you could repurpose, maybe.
Yeah, it's I've got a couple of skulls. I think everybody got a skull that I found someplace that is supposed to be a planter, or they said a cereal bowl or something. That I think that's a cool ashtray.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yes, they do make them.
Oh, he already found them.
I'm looking at a bunch of Google images of them. Yes.
Oh, wow, yeah. Those look, that's tight.
What are those? What's an average price on those, Gregory?
$25 to $30. This one is $65. Vintage Vaseline uranium glass ashtray on Etsy, $65.
That's not bad.
No.
Dang.
Glows in the dark too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It should under blacklight.
Yeah, it does.
That's cool. Thanks, asshole. Now I got to find one of those. What a prick.
Oh, I don't have one of those yet. Jeez. Ooh. It's not a problem. I don't need help.
Yeah.
So if one of you has one, the email address is info@loomiscigarcartel.com. We will get it to Larry, and he will respond.
Hey, reach out to me. I'd be willing to trade a bunch of Cartel and Beyond the Humidor swag for one of those ashtrays. Let the barter begin.
Okay.
See what we started. There's going to be somebody knocking at the door. Psst, psst. Hey, man. Hey, come here. Come here. I got something for you. He's got a paper bag in the back seat of a Buick.
Hey, kid, you want to buy some radium glass?
So, yeah, put that on the poster, my missing poster, would you? Who am I kidding? I'm too fat to kidnap. That's why I stay this size. All right, I think we've bored these people long enough. What do you guys say?
I agree.
I'm thinking so. Any final words?
God bless America. No, man, I'm looking forward to a good rest of the week. We got some cool stuff planned upcoming with guests and stuff. So, if you can put up with us a few episodes longer, hang in there. We're at 89 right now, which means the big 100 is coming. So
yeah, we've had that discussion of what's going to happen on the 100th episode. You can't just rely on that one, Greg.
Well, I don't know. That one's
I don't
pretty
know.
good.
I could release that as the 100th episode.
That one's pretty good. No, we gotta brainstorm some things, man. We get a couple people in here for that one.
There you go.
We could do. We gotta look and kind of see what time of year that's gonna fall too, based on our recording schedule.
Yeah, I'll figure that out.
Because maybe we could do some kind of little event for that, where we're barbecuing or doing something.
It's roughly 22 weeks away, so that'll put us probably in the fall or winter.
All right.
As long as it's not too wintry, it could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll break out the Blackstones for those of us that have Blackstones.
How do you know I didn't buy one?
Because you would have been whining about it, you big pussy. That's how I know.
Send us home, Gorilla.
See, I was just about to say for the 100th episode, I want that to be big like Sábado Gigante.
Jesus.
Why not?
Why not?
Teach you guys a little bit of Spanish, and we're in like Flynn. Well, anyway.
¿Cuántos años, hermana? ¿Dónde está el baño? Dos más cervezas. My Spanish is perfect, damn it.
Simone. Well, looks like the scotch glass is empty and my cigar's down to the nub, so I think it's about that time. I want to thank everybody out there, and on behalf of the Gorilla, Larry, Greg, and myself, thank you for listening. Check us out at LumenCigarCartel.com. Like and share us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. You're going to see a lot more of us on Instagram. And drop us a line. Don't be a stranger. Let us know you're out there. I'm Scott Robinson, and on behalf of all of us here at Beyond the Humidor, I'd like to thank you for listening. Look forward to chatting with you on the next episode. But until then, stay healthy and safe, and good smoke, good drink, and good life. Cheers, people.